I know I'm a couple days late on this issue, but I still felt I needed to talk about it. Rand Paul has he's been in the news recently, and the thing it was for blocking a bill. Now, that may not sound too crazy. Like, okay, he postponed a bill, he blocked a bill, whatever. I mean, it's what politicians do sometimes. They block some bills, they pass some bills through. It's how it works, right? Now, his reason for blocking this bill was because of the budget. He said our deficit's already at $1 trillion, which, by the way, yes, this year alone, the deficit is at $1 trillion, and we're already just shy of $22 trillion in debt, so we're about to have a lot of debt here. So, obviously, the budget is something you should concern. So he decided to block the bill. Now, he said, we can go ahead, we could change some things about it, like we can do this instead of this, we can lower costs for this, we can cut this out completely, stuff like that. And you know what? That's great. Yeah. But something like this still shouldn't be blocked. Even if you plan to come back to it later, something like this you should go ahead and do now, because this is kind of important. And if you haven't heard, what I'm talking about is the bill that he blocked that gives health care to 9/11 first responders. Think about that for a minute. And see, anyone on the right, you really don't hear them talking about it. Like, you hear some independents talking about it, and you hear some left-wing YouTubers talking about it, or bread tubers, or whatever it is that they call it. I don't know why bread tubers. That doesn't really make any sense. I'm going to have to look into that. And if you go on Twitter, he was trending because of this, because everyone was ripping him a new one. So, there's a lot of people talking about it, but not a lot of people on the right. And it kind of makes you think, well, what if someone from the Squad had done this? Oh, we'd still be talking about it to this day. It would be trending nonstop. It would be all over Fox News for days and days and days, even weeks. Nobody would shut up about it if someone from the Squad did it. And if you're wondering who the Squad is, that is Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, AOC, and Ayana. I cannot remember her last name off the top of my head. I gotta look this up. Hold up. Ayanna Pressley. That's what it is. Okay. But still, if one of those had said it, especially Ilhan Omar, you would never hear the end of it. But now that it's Rand Paul, a right-winger, all of a sudden no one really cares. Well, at least no one on the right cares. People on the left, oh yeah, we definitely care. Especially since something like healthcare is a huge issue to us. Now, whatever happened to never forget? I mean, how often do you see a right-winger, especially Rand Paul, by the way, tweet out, never forget, or he'll bring up where he was during 9/11 or something like that. Like, 9/11 was a fucking tragedy. Like, it completely destroyed the country, basically. Like, it was a terrible thing. And those first responders, a lot have died. A lot are sick. And some are just waiting to get sick. Because some, they got sick like a week after. Others, a couple months. Others, a year or two. A lot of people have died because they got so sick from breathing in all that dust and debris and all that destruction going on. Like, it was bad. Like, being in the coal mines is bad. But going through that, it's like, oh my god, it was bad. So, this bill was going to help them. And you gotta think, this bill would cost in the millions. It might reach $1 billion. That sounds like a lot of money. But we have a budget of $21 trillion. And we're already worried about the deficit. But if you go back just a little while ago to last year, there was a bill passed by President Trump that gave tax cuts to the wealthy and to the corporations. And this tax cut cost in the trillions. And Rand Paul was for that. He didn't care about the budget then. No, the budget was no concern to him then. But now all of a sudden that we're giving health care to people. Not just any people, but 9/11 responders. And he just doesn't care. He's not for it. Like, he doesn't care. So when a Congress member doesn't refer to 9/11 as the worst tragedy ever, she just casually mentions it, and she doesn't hammer in on how bad it was and how terrible the people who did it are, everyone loses their mind. But as soon as Rand Paul passes a bill, well, blocks a bill that would give health care to the first responders, you don't hear anything about it. It's no big deal. I mean, we gotta worry about the budget. We can't do this right now. I mean, we could come back to this in a few months, maybe a year after we've done some stuff, but as of right now, no, we can't do that. It's like, when it comes to issues that don't affect someone like you and me directly, they're all for passing it. So tax cuts for the rich, that doesn't affect me and you, but it affects the wealthy. It makes it better for them. They don't care. Going to war doesn't really affect me and you personally. Now it might affect a family member, or it might affect Jim Bob down the street, and it'll affect all the people serving, and it'll affect the people that we go to war with. They don't care about that. I mean, we have spent like over $1 trillion in Afghanistan. We've spent billions and trillions of dollars fighting these endless wars, and there's no sign of getting out. Nobody cares. We stay in. Nobody asks about the budget when it comes to that stuff. But as soon as you want to give health care to people, or as soon as you want to give public education, or as soon as you want to pass a Green New Deal, or anything, if you want to change anything about the infrastructure or about the environment, something that's going to help the average American, oh, well, now we got to start caring about the budget. What is wrong with the Republican Party and with Rand Paul specifically, to where this is his issue? This is where he draws the line. This is fucking bullshit. A bill like this should have been passed, but no, it didn't, because we got to worry about the budget. The fucking budget. We'll give trillions of dollars to the wealthy and to the corporations who already have a metric fuck ton of money, but as soon as we want to help 9/11 responders, oh no, we can't do that. That's going to be too much money. Rand Paul needs to stick to foreign policy, because we agree on that. We may not agree how we get, like, we may not go down the same path to get to that conclusion, but we come to a similar conclusion. We want to get out of these wars, because we need to. We can't keep fighting these illegal offensive wars. It's not helping us. It's doing the exact opposite. So we definitely need to get out of that. And when Rand Paul starts talking about foreign policy, he shines. Like I said, his reasons for it are questionable, but the end result, at least he's fighting for it. Stick to foreign policy, Rand Paul. Don't focus on anything else, because that's like the only thing you're good at. You're fucking terrible at everything else. And the fact that you actually blocked this bill just shows how much of a disgusting human being you are.